Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. What has been going on with the entertainment industry in 2025? I feel like I'm Judge Judy. Just start calling me Judge Out Loud. We got Diddy on trial for his life. We got Tory Lanez maybe getting out of jail. We got Anthony Edwards fighting with his baby mama in court. And the Menendez brothers got resentenced. That's it. I'm renaming the show Judge Out Loud Podcast. All rise. The Honorable Judge Out Loud is in session. You may be seated. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Wednesday night or Thursday morning. And to my Thursday morningers, what up? We only got one more day till the weekend, and y'all know that puts me in a good mood. Friday, hurry up. All right, you guys, I have a great show set up for you guys today. We're going to kick things off with a breaking story about Tory Lanez maybe getting out of jail. We have two lead stories. We're going to talk to you about a judge granting Halle Bailey a restraining order against Diddy, and we are going to review Cassie's day 2 testimony. Woo! It might be over for Diddy, y'all. In quick news, we're going to talk Adin Ross, Doechi, the Menendez brothers, Justin Bieber, Ayesha Howard, and Anthony Edwards. As always, we're going to close off the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. Start this show. Let's go. All right, you guys, we have a huge breaking story with Tory Lanez. If you guys have been watching daily, we told you on Monday, I think it was, that Tory Lanez got poked up in jail, airlifted to a hospital. He got poked up 14 times, his back, torso, back of his head, side of his face. He is doing all right. He's fine. He made it through. However, there has been even bigger news today that came out for Tory Lanez. Breaking news about his case. He might actually get out of jail. Tori Lanez's legal team held a press conference on the Megan Thee Stallion case. Says Kelsey Harris's bodyguard has reportedly come forward stating Kelsey was the one who fired the GUN. This is crazy. I have 2 videos for you, but listen to this. Tory Lanez's legal team is still fighting for his release, suggesting that Megan Thee Stallion's former bestie Kelsey Harris is responsible for the 2020 incident that led to Tory's incarceration. During a press conference, Tory's legal team at United the People revealed that they were approached by Bradley James, a man who worked as a bodyguard and driver for Kelsey during the Tory Lanez trial. James, who was privy to closed-door conversation but wasn't under NDA, allegedly told the legal team that he witnessed Kelsey admitting to having the GUN and letting it go 3 times. He further claimed that when Tory grabbed Kelsey's arm to stop her, that's when the GUN went off 2 more times. United the People insists that this new information adds another layer of doubt to the case, claiming that Tory never was the one responsible for Megan Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez is currently serving a 10-year prison sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony charges. Okay, we'll talk about those 3 felony charges in a minute, but here is the video of the press conference. Take a listen.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never anybody.
All right, now here is another video of a New York lawyer explaining to you guys legally why this is so huge. Take a listen.
Never in a million years could you have told me that this would happen. This is deliverance. Let me explain to you what this brother is talking about. This is not Quan. This is a security guard / driver hired by Kelsey and said, I overheard Kelsey talking about what really happened. I think that the California courts would see an affidavit from Bradley James and rule that this is new evidence. This is a whole new witness talking about something that happened after the incident that happened during the trial where he overheard Kelsey essentially admit to committing the crime. You got to reopen that case. If you're a prosecutor and you haven't spoken to Bradley James within the next 24 hours, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay, this lawyer did a good job. He is forgetting a few things, which we're not going to get into today. But for those who followed me when we talked about this case, what was it, 2.5 years now? I broke down the 3 felony charges, and the charges are not so much so of what came out the GUN and it hitting Megan or not. The charges were kind of intelligently placed by the prosecution that it wasn't just that needed to happen for him to be found guilty. There were some other things like negligence, etc., etc. However, this is enough to at least open back up the case and get Tori perhaps time served. So huge. We'll do more research into this and let you guys know more tomorrow. That's why we put this in breaking stories. This is literally just coming out. We have a lot to do with the Diddy case. There's DDG that has a pending case. There's so many criminal cases going on right now in the court system. It's crazy. I just wanted to tell you guys this. From what I know, Tori is still in the hospital recovering. He's not even back in jail. Eventually, I'm sure he'll have to go back into some sort of protection program or what have you, but it so happens the chatter has started. Tori might be out of jail permanently, maybe in the next couple of days. We don't know. A lot of celebs, a lot of people are rushing to social media. Chris Brown being one of them, saying free Tori. Like Toronto right now is going crazy. LA, New York, like it's a madhouse right now. We'll go to the rest of the show. We'll follow up. Weigh in below. What does this mean to you, where you have testimony from a driver that heard he said Kelsey was the one to let off the GUN and Tori had no part in this? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We'll talk about this more tomorrow. Our first lead story. Judge reportedly grants Halle Bailey a restraining order against DDG after she claims that DDG put hands on her and chipped her tooth. She says he threw her phone out the window and yelled, "Go get it, B word." All right, of course, we're going to get into all things Diddy, but I had to hit you off with this right away. Big news coming out of the DDG and Halle family, okay? A judge has granted Halle Bailey a restraining order against her child's father, rapper DDG, after she accused him of putting hands on her dating back to January. According to documents obtained by TMZ, Bailey claims the incident occurred while she was handing off their son, Halo, to DDG. The two began discussing visitation plans, but Bailey said DDG became irritated. As she was buckling Halo into his car seat, she alleged he snapped and yelled, "Get out of my car, B word." Bailey claims they began wrestling and DDG pulled her hair, pushed her head into the steering wheel, chipping her tooth. She said Halo started crying, which made her anxious about letting him leave with the state that DDG was in. After she began crying, the altercation ended, but out of concern for the child, she stayed in the car and they drove to DDG's home. Once there, she hysterically told the incident to his family, who alleged that they said they would take care of Halo. Bailey also detailed a weird incident in March, claiming DDG entered her home without her permission and texted a photo of an empty bed with a message, "Now I see how you get down." She interpreted that of him accusing of being with another man. 4 days later, she said DDG came to her house again, but she refused to let Halo leave with him because Halo was sick at the time. Then that's when DDG smashed her Ring camera and ran off with her phone. He drove away, and Bailey claims he threw her phone out his car window and shouted, "Go and get it, B-word," prompting her to file a police report. After reviewing the evidence, the judge granted Bailey a restraining order requiring DDG to stay at least 100 yards away from her. She was also granted permission to take 18-month-old Halo with her to Italy while she films a movie for 2 months. Additionally, DDG has been ordered not to speak about Haley or their son on his streaming platform, which is huge because that's what he talks about half the time, all right? Now, here are some pictures that allegedly the judge saw, and this is evidence of why he gave her the restraining order. Take a look at this. You'll see there's some bruising on her arm. Here are text messages between DDG and Haley. Now, I know the images are small, but what this is him texting, DDG texting Haley pictures of her new alleged boyfriend, or the guy who she's seeing, Brett Faya, who is a artist and an R&B and hip hop artist. And he's just saying, you think you're hurting my feelings when you're just ruining your own image. This is a terrible look, makes you look disgusting and evil. Enjoy your vacation. Happy Mother's Day. But just have the same energy when it's my turn to have him. I'm on the same ish. She's talking about when he has Halo, he's going to have girls and bring girls around if she is allegedly out there with Brent. Here is the picture of her chipped tooth. Now, this all broke yesterday. As soon as I saw it, literally 5 minutes later, I was able to grab a video from Adin Ross and DDG's stream. They were both out shopping, probably out somewhere in LA. And you hear Adin Ross being like, "Yo, why is everybody telling me to go check DDG on TMZ?" They pull up their phone, and you're going to see DDG's reaction to finding out he has a restraining order and can come 100 yards within Haley. Take a look.
Damn, bro. Should I get a stylist? Why are they saying GGTMZ? Let's see. Why are they saying GGTMZ? All right, I'm looking at her story now. Oh. Don't even.
That can't even be real.
Fuck all that.
But that can't even be real. That's the thing.
But don't even. But you remember we talked about last night? All that. Let me say something. It's not.
No, I'm saying, but I don't know where that even came from.
Yo, stop these fake allegations. This is a father. This is a real person.
Okay, we're going to cut it off right there. We don't need to hear from Adin Ross. He went on to say, like, yo, this is my boy. He's a father. We love him, etc. Y'all know me already. I am not a big DDG fan, and this just makes things even worse. I never really liked how we got on stream and talked about Halo and talked about Haley. It was just always giving, like, he was always in the wrong. You know what I mean? And y'all know me. I always try to see things from both sides and play it fair. I've been trying to look and find out why it's just a restraining order and not something more like pressing charges or looking to try to keep 100%. What's the word you're looking for? You know, when a parent has not visitation, but jeez. Gosh, what Kim is trying to take from Kanye. Oh my gosh. Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Where she could keep Halo for 100% of the time. Gosh, why can't I find the word? Anyways, y'all know what I mean. Anyways, that's what I would like think would be the next step, but maybe the judge just felt that for right now, because, you know, from the pictures and you know, the chipped tooth and the bruising, let's just keep him away from you while we investigate this a little bit more. Now, ironically, DDG posted this morning on his Instagram, "I'm chilling, by the way. I have no worries. Streaming later on, no days off." You see why I don't like this dude? You know what I mean? Either A, don't say anything at all and deal with it privately, or if you're going to come out and say something as if like these allegations are false, I would never do something like this, etc., etc. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, address it or apologize for it or whatever. Don't just be like, "Yo, I'm chilling, by the way." Like, we saw you on stream in shock and disbelief. You know what I mean? Anyways, I really don't, not a really big fan of DDG. Y'all let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. We'll follow up and just let you know what goes on with this, but I predict like this will not be the end. I would be surprised if all Halle wants out of this is just a restraining order. We'll follow up and let you guys know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Our second lead story. All right, today was day 2 in Cassie's testimony, and let me tell y'all something. Day 2 was almost a home run, almost a grand slam by the prosecution. Yesterday, myself and a bunch of other people were like, yo, the prosecution was dragging their feet. It was boring. Where are they going with this? Let me tell y'all something. Yesterday was a pregame warm-up. Today, they were at the Super Bowl and, you know, they wiped the floor with their opponents. Like, this is probably going to be the best day that the prosecution will have in this entire case. I'm going to run down and let you know before Cassie even took the stand and through her testimony throughout the day. Like yesterday, we're not going to read word for word verbatim. I'm just going to go through in summary. There's a lot of sites and stuff that are going like, you know, line by line on her testimony. That will take hours for us to do. It's out there. I'm sure some of you might be following them. But here, as I told you from the beginning, we are going to go through the case itself or the days itself. And I'm going to do my best from my expertise in years and multiple court cases with multiple lawyers and give you little nuances and let you know things that some other outlets might be missing. All right. So here it's about the nuances and how each side is doing. Before I say that, I just want to accentuate something again. I see some of you guys in the comment section that say, hey, Trent, you say you're for Cassie, but it doesn't sound like it once you get talking. When I'm talking to you guys right now about the case, I'm coming to you from a legal perspective. We are doing research. We are talking with my group of personal lawyers. I'm also talking with other sources. So I'm coming at you from a legal standpoint, not from an emotional standpoint. Yes, we feel horrible for Cassie. Yes, we all saw that CNN tape. Yes, we're all on Team Cassie. I've told you guys repeatedly, not only do I think Diddy should go to jail, I think Diddy's a sick man. Like, I think he's sick in his head. Like, I think he's disturbed. Not jail, but he needs like psychological help. Him being a father of 6 children and 55 years old and going on with this kind of lifestyle. And even if you're saying he wasn't going through this today, right now, these are stories from 5 years ago. It's when he was 50. Like, it's just disgusting. However, when I'm coming at you telling you yesterday that the prosecution is not doing a good job, I'm talking from a legal standpoint. All right. Okay. So starting off, before Cassie even took the stand, the defense team went to the judge and had a sidebar and asked the judge not to let Cassie consult with her personal lawyer during cross-examination, which should be coming up tomorrow. And they also wanted to put in that they don't want any witnesses being able to talk to their personal lawyers. The judge for now has allowed them. She has ruled on that, but they put it as an asterisk, like, we'll see how it goes and we might actually take that away. Now, there's 2 things. One, the reason why Cassie and the other witnesses want to do that is what we've told you a bunch of times. This case for Diddy really is going to rest on his defense team cross-examining these witnesses. And the second you catch a witness lying, the second you catch a witness stumbling, the second you make a witness, really? Did I say that? Yeah, you did say that, Miss Ventura. Okay, well, I actually didn't remember that. Boom, it ruins all their credibility. That is why Diddy is selling homes. He's selling businesses and spending millions and millions of dollars on the best defense attorneys, some in the world, definitely the best in the US, but some of the best defense attorneys in the world, because he knows he doesn't have evidence and he has to solely rely on his defense team to cross up these people. We told you guys yesterday, or I think it was maybe on Friday, just think about how you feel when you get pulled over by the cops and the cops are questioning you. Your anxiety starts, and you're not even doing anything, or like at a border crossing, or if you're traveling internationally and they're asking you, where you headed today? Why? You sometimes stumble on the words just of the situation you're in. Just imagine being in the courtroom and know that this is one of the trials of the century. Just that alone is going to make you nervous. So they want to be able to confer with their lawyers to make sure they're not getting crossed up. Okay. So the second part to that is the defense team, like I told you, their first strategy is try to cross people up. The second is, let's try whatever we can for a mistrial or grounds for an appeal. So this has gone on record saying, hey, appeal judge, or we want a mistrial. Every time we went to cross-examine or ask Cassie something or ask somebody else something, all they did was talk to their lawyer. We don't want to talk to their lawyer. We don't want to question their lawyer. We want to question Cassie. I think the judge is very fair. He's being a little too lenient in my expert opinion, being a little too lenient and allowing so many doors or windows, let's call it, to be open for grounds for dismissal and appeal. I really don't think that they should allow a blanket, oh, he asked me this, what should I say? Oh, he asked me that, what should I say? I don't like it, okay? That's how this started off. But let's go to Cassie now. Cassie takes the stand, again, shows up, not looking at Diddy looking at her and looking at the jury again today. Like I said, I have 4 people that are in that courtroom, and she acts like Diddy's not even there. Like, she does not look at him. She doesn't look like past them, nothing. It's like he is not there. Once again, very heavily pregnant. I think they said that she was in a black or a gray outfit, of course, showing off her belly, okay? Trying to get sympathy from the jury. Very smart of her. Again, let's take our emotions out of this. This is PR. This is trying to win a case. Everything is orchestrated, okay? So one of the big things today was they released the 15-minute video of the CNN tape that we saw on CNN. We've put the full 15 minutes on Formerly Out Loud, our Instagram page, FORMALLY. You can see the full 15 minutes there. If you don't want to watch the whole 15 minutes, I'm going to break down to you pretty much what we saw. And the big, huge takeaway. Now, a lot of people were like, what does this videotape show us? Yes, it shows that he put hands on her, but that's not what he's on trial. We found out today what they were trying to show. And like I said earlier, like how I started off, they did an amazing job. Okay. So, the first thing you see is him pulling her down. Then you see him grabbing her phone. Then you see her walking away. Like, he grabs her 2 bags, goes to the room, and then she stays, and he comes back, and he's trying to take her phone from her. And you see him kind of like in the mirror, grab the phone. And then she stands there. She takes out her lip gloss, puts her lip gloss on. There's a phone on the wall. She takes up the phone and dials somebody. She puts it back. He comes back, sits down, and they're arguing, and there's no sound, by the way. So we just have to assume what's going on. Okay. So phone is on the wall. Then what we have never seen from the CNN tape is that you see the security guard who testified on Monday, Israel something, don't remember his last name. Anyways, you see him come up, okay? Young guy, fairly stocky. And we heard on Monday where he said he draped Diddy up against the wall. And I was like, wow, I'm surprised by that. Seeing him now, I get it, all right? He's definitely, I would say, bigger than Diddy. And you can see Diddy, although Diddy is arguing with him on the tape, Diddy is not necessarily very confrontational with him. Let's put it that way. So the security guard comes up, and they're all 3 arguing. You heard him on Monday saying, he was just trying to get them back in the room, okay? So you see Diddy walk off. Him and Cassie are there talking. They go off to another part of the hotel where now it's in the hallway. You see the camera angle change. Diddy goes down. Cassie is staying all the way on the other end. The security guard walks down the hall, like walking Diddy back into the room, okay? Then you see Cassie following them back around 2 or 3 minutes later. There's some people that come to clean up what we think is the room, because the room is not on camera. The room is on the camera. You see all the way at the end of the hallway, and then it turns, and there's no camera down here, which you would think a big expensive hotel like that, they wouldn't have any blank spots. Odd. Anyway, so cleaning crew goes. You see them coming back. What looks like a table or something that's in their little basket, and then you see Cassie walk back with the original bag and her phone in her hand. Now, let me tell you why this is very, very important, okay? Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here. And, okay, 2 things why this is very important. 1, this is not showing that Diddy put hands on her. I mean, clearly it is. But what they were trying to show with his charges is that she couldn't leave. This is coercion. This is the fact of Diddy saying, nah, you're not allowed to leave. You're under my control. I am the one who's in charge of you. So this proves their point where everybody online has been saying, this is a relationship. This is a relationship with them putting hands on each other. They're just being jealous. That's Diddy's defense, right? Me and my girl, we argue a lot. You could argue with your girl, but keeping her and keeping her things against her will, that goes under a federal crime, and that goes under what he's being charged for. So this is the evidence. Now, some other people were saying before we had these details that Cassie was trying to take his belongings. Now we have proof that she was at first, for the beginning of the tape, had her bag and her stuff. The security guard now is there and present saying, yo, let her leave. And now you see her leaving back with her bag. So it was her stuff. Diddy was trying to keep her there, which that is not legal. That goes beyond the charge of putting hands on somebody, all right? And it shows that the only way that she was allowed to leave and the only way she was allowed to leave with her stuff was when a security guard was there. That is huge breaking evidence, all right? Huge win. Now, keep in mind, to be fair, like I told you, we have to look at this from a legal standpoint. Diddy's team is still going to say, hey, this argument wasn't about her leaving or anything like that. This argument was about, what was it that she found something in his phone with another girl. She got mad. She threw the phone at him and he came out to get her because he was the one who was injured. That's what he is going to say. They might even bring it up in cross-examination, or it might be later on. We don't know, but that's the defense. As much as we see this on camera, there's no audio. And yes, that's her bag, but we don't know whose phone that is. He might come out and say, yo, I just wanted my phone back. Okay. So that is the videotape. Now moving along, very, very strategic, but also puts a little hole in their case, but they want to get ahead of it. Cassie admitted to putting hands on Diddy herself in his face. Now, I've been telling you guys when we're looking at this case, Diddy's team before trial said our defense is going to be they mutually put hands on each other. They had a toxic relationship. And I said, I really hope that Diddy's team has evidence of this. Well, I'm sure Cassie knew that he probably had evidence. So the prosecution was slick. They got ahead of it and they're like, yes, she put hands on him too. However, she framed it in a way of a little bit more of self-defense. But she said, yes, she started at this one point where she was the one who started it. Okay, so she's getting ahead of it. Cassie also testified about having sores on her tongues and some other things that you get from unprotected sex. She said that at some point she had so many things that medication wasn't able to help her with it, which is really, really sad. Something that is not against the law, but it plays to the jury. We also posted that up on our Instagram, formerly Out Loud. It is hard to read. I'm not going to talk about it here on YouTube. If you guys want to go and check it out and see more details, it's up on our Instagram page. Okay, here is when it starts getting really bad for Diddy. Cassie said that Diddy would use the videos in a way to make her do more videos, blackmailing her. That is now closing the loop and showing why Diddy is guilty of his charges. You want to be with your girl and you want to do freaky stuff? Okay, but and Diddy wants to say, hey, this was her own free will. She could have left. Well, now we have evidence, and now we have proof of her saying, sorry, we don't have evidence. I'm going to talk about that in a second. We have testimony from her saying, I couldn't leave because he used these videos as a way to keep me there, which is illegal. And that falls under the things that he's charged for. Okay. The sex crimes that he's charged for. That is a federal crime. You cannot do that. Okay. Here is where it starts to get a little sticky. Now, I accidentally said evidence. Here is where they tried to make this evidence, but it's 50-50. Cassie told the jurors Diddy kept the videos on his phone, and she said she sent him a text message telling him to delete the footage. Cassie read a text message she sent to Diddy in July 2013, and it said, please delete the videos off your phone. Too many people have access to your device. Diddy wrote back and said, no iCloud, all good, going to bed. If he would have wrote back, nah, I'm keeping them. You need to, I'm keeping them for next time. If you try to leave me, then I'll expose them or I'll send them to TMZ or something. If he would have wrote that back, it'd be done. Diddy would have to plead guilty. There would be a waste of everyone's time and money. So it's a testimony saying that I didn't want him to keep the videos. He said he was going to keep the videos and he tried to use them against me. There is no evidence proving that. Her testimony, of course, is going to hold a lot of weight. However, today, we haven't seen evidence of that blackmail. There's no email, there's no voicemail, and there is no text message stating that. This is the closest. I'm assuming they have because she's on a stand now and tomorrow is going to be cross-examination. She also talked about the Kid Cudi situation where, let's not get into that. We already know Kid Cudi and Diddy saw a text message or saw that she was on her way to her house, or sorry, it was an email that she was bringing some toiletries to Kid Cudi's house. He didn't like it. And, he did something to his car. All right. He made his car go boom. Now, here is how the date ended, which once again, to be clear, not taking anything away or saying we don't believe her, but there's no evidence of this, but this is still very damning to hear as testimony. And I'm very interested to see how the lawyers are going to cross-examine. This is how the day ended. Cassie claims Diddy R-worded her after she broke things off. She also details being paid $20 million in 24 hours after the 2023 lawsuit about the incident that they went through. Okay. So we'll talk about the $20 million, but here is the R word. And we knew that this was coming because remember yesterday, the Diddy's defense team said, we do not want Cassie's husband, Alex Fine, in the courtroom while she's testifying about the R word case because we might want to bring her husband up as our witness. That tells me that the defense team, Diddy's defense team, has something to either discredit this, to make it not seem believable, or only just poke holes in this R word allegation. So, but it still definitely hit hard, okay? It starts off by saying, Cassie just wrapped direct testimony and shared emotional details about the end of her relationship with Diddy. She claims that after she initially broke things off, he allegedly R-worded her in retaliation. Listen to this. Despite the incident, she says it wasn't the last time they spent time together, admitting that she went back to him because of their 10-year history. Cassie reveals, hold on one second. If you guys remember last week, I told you that Diddy's defense team, what's her name? Nicole Westmoreland is a black woman on Diddy's defense team that had her own experience with SA and R wording. And she had an incident happen. She went to the police and the guy is in jail. He pleaded guilty. I think she is going to cross-examine Cassie tomorrow and or when Alex Fine takes the stand to talk about this delicate situation where she was in the same situation and the next day she didn't go back to her accuser. She didn't go back, to the person who did that to her. She didn't continue to spend time with him. She went to the police. She's going to ask Cassie, why did he go back to him? And it's going to be up to the jury. Is it enough to say that you went back to somebody after R-wording you because you guys had a history? Now, again, take your emotions out of it for a second. I've heard it repeatedly of women going back and staying in these relationships. I totally understand it. My heart goes out to it. But we're not dealing with emotions here. We're talking about a jury that's responsible. The responsibility is to listen to the law, listen to what they're charged with, and decide if a man should go to jail for the rest of his life. And if you guys remember what I'm going to talk to you about here, Cassie didn't go to the police. She wrote a book and she got money. And this is the first time that we're going to get a confirmation of how much money she got. Okay. Cassie reveals that one of their final interaction involved Diddy demanding a refund for her paying her husband for her personal training sessions. Don't know why that's important, but they wanted to just say, hey, we ended it off. The last thing was Diddy saying he wants his money back. He used to pay for her personal trainer. She ended up marrying him. Okay. Now, she also testified that she began writing down her trauma, ultimately creating a chapter book, which she sent to Diddy through her attorney. She initially asked for $30 million, but say that she received $20 million within 24 hours of her 2023 lawsuit. Cassie says she's testifying now because she simply can't take it anymore. It will be up to the defense and like I said, I'm sure it's going to be Nicole Westerlund, to make the jury feel or have some sort of doubt that she was somewhat enjoying these freak-offs, that explain why she went back to him after the R word, why she didn't go to the police. And the bigger question is, okay, you wrote it down to deal with your trauma. That's understandable. But why it was still under the statute of limitation in 2028 and 2023? It's only 5 years. Why didn't you go to the police? Why did you write a book and have your lawyer send it to Diddy asking for $30 million, accepting $20 million, and now you're on a stand testifying because you can't take it anymore? Again, take your emotions out of it. She is going to have a lot to answer. And you can already tell from how I started off and how they started off today saying, when I get cross-examined, I would like to be able to talk with my lawyer. The judge is going to allow her for now. We'll see how deep this cross-examination goes. Like I told you guys on Monday, this case is going to be make or break within this week. We'll know a lot more tomorrow when the cross-examination starts. They might have maybe one or two questions. I'm not too sure if the defense rested on questioning her. They might have left it open so that they could review the day and maybe start off tomorrow with, hey, Miss Ventura, we have one or two more questions just to tie a couple of things up. But at the end of the day, they're going to have to let Diddy's team cross-examine her. And it's going to be serious and it's going to be hard. So that was Cassie's day 2. Like I said, we have, if you want like the word for word transcripts, you can go to Formerly Out Loud, our Instagram page. We have a lot there. We have the full video. But like I said, I am going to try to break down and talk to you from a legal standpoint, nuances, and just let you know how to look at things from a legal perspective and what a jury is thinking. All right. I have a lot of experience in this, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. Woo! It's a crazy day, man. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Adin Ross responds to criticism over violating Doechi. Okay, we're gonna play this backwards instead of us just playing him addressing violating Doechi. We're gonna play you the timeline of Doechi at the Met Gala, how she handled her backlash, what Adin said, what she said, and then Adin addressing it. Okay, it's a pretty big story. Now, if you guys remember, Doechi got some backlash from the Met Gala when she was coming out the elevator and she was yelling at people in her entourage, I want more umbrellas, I want more umbrellas. And a lot of people were like, yo, we love you, Doechi. But now we're kind of like looking at you a little sideways because why are you treating your people like that? Why are you yelling at people that you're on your team? This is not like some stranger who you don't know. These are people who work for you. Why are you yelling at that? And she got some backlash. So let's play this video to remind you. Take a look.
Oh no. Yes, I'm ready. Give me another vote. Stop. Oh, give me another umbrella now. Another one right there. And another vote. We need another one. Another umbrella.
Okay, so not the best light. I mean, listen, y'all know I'm a big Doechi fan, but I have to agree with some of the backlash. Like, I understand the Met Gala is all about your outfit. She was told that there'd be no photographers in the lobby, and the elevator opens and there's a bunch of photographers there, and they're gonna leak her outfit before it's seen on the red carpet. I get it. However, those are still your people. I don't think you should be yelling at them like that. I understand it's a high pressure situation. It's your first Met Gala. I get it, but it's not looked at in the best light. More importantly, though, as much as I'm saying don't yell at your own people, these are still your own people, right? These are people who you hire. Most of these artists who have people around there, they're your friends. And I feel like sometimes we just get a little bit comfortable with our friends or even our really close colleagues. It's like, yo, just get me an umbrella, where you could after be like, girl, sorry I was yelling at you like that. I was stressed. And your girlfriend kind of like will forgive you, right? So I understand where people are coming, but I didn't fully agree with all the backlash, okay? Now, Doechi now put out a little clip a few days after to her followers, and this actually got her a little bit more backlash because I can't remember the song that goes with the video. I can't play it for copyright reasons. I'll listen to it and tell you guys after. But she comes out basically saying, you know, gosh forbid a girl is just wants more umbrellas. So instead of being like, yo, I was just a little bit stressed, but yo, I was talking to my people, like everything is cool, she made it just seem like I was not in the wrong. Take a look at this video. Okay, so the song she played in the clip was Easy Like Sunday Morning. This is why I'm easy. You know me, any chance I can get to sing a little. Anyways, so basically she's like, yo, take it easy. It's not a big deal. A lot of people really didn't love that. But then Adin Ross jumps in, which is like odd, but whatever. And this is how he addresses when somebody's like, hey, what do you think about Doechi? This is what Adin Ross had to say.
I hope everyone, Doechi rant? Oh, dude, don't get me started on that. Hey, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that industry plant. Fuck Doechi, the umbrella clip pissed me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit she is, bro.
Now, after that video came out, Adin got backlash for going after a black woman. So they said this was racially motivated because she's a woman, etc., etc. So then he got backlash, and I totally understand. Why are you calling her the B word? Like, why are you going at her like that? The same way how I just gave you my feedback of like the umbrella and what I thought. I'm not saying that he has to have those thoughts. And if he thinks that she is a horrible person, why do you have to call her the B word, call her an industry plant, and etc. Be like that? Now, Doechi's response, she just put in her stories and she said, shut up. And she said a C white slang. All right. And then she deleted that. And then Adin, now we're bringing back to the beginning. This is how Adin answered the fact of him violating Doechi, and he's trying to explain why he attacked her like that. Take a listen.
It's not race. It's not gender, guys. I come at everybody. I don't care what gender or race you are. If you're disrespectful to a 9-to-5 hardworking person, it pisses me off. It's a pet peeve. You're a multimillionaire getting mad and raging and yelling at 9-to-5 workers. It's wrong. I'm gonna double down and just repeatedly again. I'm not folding. It was trash.
So he basically is trying to explain, you're a multimillionaire. You have all the success. You don't need to talk to people like that. And he's like, I'm not folding. I'm not backing down. Well, you're kind of halfway folded because you don't have that much bass in your voice. And, you know, the fact that you're even addressing it and explaining it just shows that you know indirectly that you were wrong. I feel like the voice of the voice, choosing the word, the B word was what really kind of put it over the top. To be fair, he didn't say anything that sounded racially motivated, but, you know, you guys could go back and watch the video again. There's undertones of it there. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, this is a big discussion online. Brought you guys up to date, weigh in. For me, it's literally everybody has a right to their own opinion, and a lot of people weighed in on the umbrella situation. I just don't feel, I feel like Adin made his mistake with the B word and just going so far into the type of person somebody is just based off an umbrella. Like, Doechi's new on the scene. It's not like you've been hearing about her for the past 15 or 20 years of how much of a diva she is. There's a lot more people in the industry, okay, that you have heard stories of them yelling at people, and Mariah Carey, all right? And I love Mariah Carey, but you've heard way worse stories. So I am on Doechi's side on this, and I feel like Adin is wrong, and he should have just more come out and be like, yeah, I kind of just went off the top on her. maybe personally I don't like her or whatever, etc. But anyways, let's move on. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our second quick story. The Menendez brothers resentenced to 50 years to life in prison. Rule makes them eligible for parole. All right. The Menendez brothers has been resentenced for their case that was tried in 1989. According to ABC News on Tuesday, they were resentenced to 15 years to life in prison after already serving 35 years. They were initially sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. With the resentencing, they will now be eligible for parole. Since the brothers were under 26 years of age at the time of their crimes, they would be eligible for parole under California's youth offenders law. Several other brothers' relatives were called to the stand to speak on their defense. Their cousin pleaded for their release and said they are very different men today. Their transformation is remarkable. The cousin also told prosecutors that the brothers had ultimately taken responsible for their crime and that one of the brothers even admitted to asking a witness to lie at their trial. As prosecutors argued that the brothers didn't take full responsibility of their crimes, the cousin acknowledged that they hadn't revealed some of the details of their case to her. The resentencing comes as Los Angeles County District Attorney George Cancos made the suggestion last October. According to AP News, the state parole board must still decide if they will be released. All right, so we have been covering this a couple of months ago? I think it was maybe before December. It was December or January. Remember, Kim Kardashian was actually pushing this. She got a lot of backlash, and we haven't really heard too much about from Kim about this. So, are they out? No. Is this a step forward? A small step forward. The fact that they may be eligible for parole. We're not too sure yet when the parole board will look into it and what the steps are, but we'll follow up and let you guys know. I'm very curious. Last time we talked about this, I feel like most people were divided. Remember, there was stories of the father doing stuff to them, which is the reason why the brothers retaliated. Well, we won't get into it now again, but I'm sure you guys remember the case. What is your thoughts? Do you feel like the brothers should get out? 35 years now. Have they been rehabilitated? Have they, given their time back to the state for their wrongdoing, or do you feel like they should be staying in jail for life? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our third quick story. TMZ investigates what happened to Justin Bieber. All right, I want to tell you guys about this. Actually, hold on, let me just read the article. Fans have been concerned about Justin Bieber's behavior. In a gripping investigation, TMZ explores allegations that Bieber's drug use, financial collapse, marriage to Halle Bailey, and his ties to a controversial church. TMZ investigates what happened to Justin Bieber. All right, this is airing Wednesday, 9 p.m. I think they said at 9 p.m. I'm super excited to see what TMZ could muster up. My gosh, I think since Diddy's arrest, we have been talking to you guys about Justin Bieber, maybe like once a week, sometimes even twice a week. We showed you guys clips at parties where he seems so out of it. He's on video sets with Sexy Red. He's just so much weird things that we see happening to Justin Bieber. We don't know if it's issues with his wife, if it's mental health issues, is it DRUG, like what's going on? We do know that he sold his catalog for $200 million, but then there's also questions that he's going broke. How does one run through $200 million in like a year or 2 years? Just crazy. So we hear all the stories, but we don't get any sort of details or any tea. Hopefully, Fox and TMZ will let us know. Here is a little snippet of what they are going to say. Take a listen.
Justin Bieber has made between $500 million and $1 billion.
Fox Wednesday. Is he unraveling before our eyes?
He definitely looked out of it.
Those videos were scary.
The power struggle fueled by money.
He was on the verge of financial collapse.
And accusations of betrayal.
A new documentary on Justin Bieber, and it is shocking.
I am working morning and night with getting you guys information on the Diddy trial. I will try my best to watch this and follow up with you guys tomorrow, but I know y'all are interested. We'll let you know at least the most important details of this. If any of you watch it, please comment below and let me know what's going on with Bieber. Our fourth quick story. Alleged text messages show Ayesha Howard confronting Anthony Edwards for not using protection. She said, "I ain't effing nobody raw." All right, y'all know that this has been my favorite side story, other than like all the court cases that's been going on, following up on Anthony Edwards and Ayesha Howard. I'm a big fan of Anthony Edwards, but I just hate what's going on with him and Ayesha and him just not seeing his children. So I'm invested in this. A big development in their case, and I have said repeatedly, if she trapped him, if she was doing stuff that was wrong, etc., I'm not really concerned about that. I'm more concerned with Anthony just accepting the fact that they do have a child together and seeing the child. But this is a huge development, and now this is proof that she wasn't trying to trap Anthony. So, and this was Anthony really doing sloppy work on his own. So now I'm even more on Ayesha's side. Ayesha is doubling down on her claims that she did not trap Anthony Edwards, nor did she initiate unprotected sex. Okay. Now here is the text messages. She says, "Are you feeling better?" He says, "Yes, I am. How about you?" "I'm okay, but I do have a question." He says, "Okay, what's up?" She says, "Do you like protection?" He said, "I do, but not those ones." I guess he's talking about maybe a brand or something like that. Then she says, "Okay, just don't be wildin', slanging it everywhere. I'd be lying if I said protection didn't throw me off or that I didn't want you to, but I'm hoping you have some discipline with your lifestyle and all. I F with you, so I let it happen, but I was being serious when I said I don't deal with anyone." Then she wrote on social media and said, "Like I said, I don't trap or even initiate unprotected encounters, and I'm a woman enough to wake up every day and take care of mine, so put some respect on my name when y'all speaking on me." All right, look, man, Anthony Edwards literally has us here believing that she is literally just making all this stuff up and she's out here trapping him and just using him for that. These text messages here, you could see his response to her talking about using protection, and he's just very lackadaisical about it. Like, "Yeah, I do, but just not those kinds." Bro, you're a NBA basketball player. It doesn't matter what the kind. You should just be wrapping it up at all the times, bro. You know what I'm saying? Use a Ziploc bag if you have to. I mean, geez. Anyways, Anthony, I'm just super disappointed in you. And again, this is just more proof on Ayesha's side. Regardless of the back and forth, and yes, I am invested in this story. Regardless, trap, not trap. I didn't even need this text message. Anthony Edwards, there is a child that's born. She is out here. You should look and not just pay money, but you should be visiting and taking care of your child. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, y'all know what time it is. It's time for my favorite segment, comments of the day. All right, before I get started with comments, you know I have to tell you about my favorite online digital tool. And I have a question for you guys. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, you are, if you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud, to get a free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is flooded with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers who sell your data. They do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling your information to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. This is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and the Out Louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing all of your info off of the dark web, and most importantly, they do it and keep it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may have digital security tool, but not having Aura is like having your front door locked, but keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is found on the dark web. They have real-time fraud alerts for your credit card and banking, a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have 24/7 US-based support around the clock. if anything goes wrong. The plus is Aura also offers a $5 million identity theft insurance package, all coming together in your monthly fee. All right. But before that monthly fee, you get a 14-day free trial using my link below. And in all seriousness, the great thing about the 14 days or the free 14 days is Aura will be able to go through your entire history and let you know if any of your information has already been exposed, and they will remove it and take it off for free, just to show you how good they are, just to show you how much you need them. Now, it's up to you if you want to continue. That's all between you. My point here is just to give you the 14-day free trial to let you know if anything has been found out. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have that luxury because I was breached. Let's just put it that way. Won't go into details, but I was breached before, and that's how I found Aura. So now I tell all my family and friends, hey, do it before things get bad. All right. It took me weeks to get all my things back, and it was just a nightmare. So that's why I contacted Aura, and I asked to get you guys a free day trial to let you guys enjoy the things that I wasn't able to enjoy. For those of you who don't know about Aura, they used to be the jersey badge for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's a picture of Ant Edwards, who we're still very mad at, and also Karl Anthony Towns, just showing you that they are the leader and the biggest when it comes to digital security platforms. They are the best. All right. Like I said, there's a link below, and I'll put up the QR code here. You can take out your phones, open up your cameras, just point it, click the link on your phone, and it will bring you right to my link, and you'll get 14 days free. All right. Now, let's move on to what y'all are really here for, and that is comments of the day. Well, actually, it's really what I'm here for because it's my favorite segment. All right. So the first one is Teresa. Teresa says, Trent, poof. I heard that federal court is basically, they have all the evidence and the defense is the ones who have to prove them false. In all other courts, the proof is on the prosecution. Tell what's the truth. Whoop, whoop. All right, Teresa, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the comment, but you are 100% wrong. In any sort of court system in North America, whether it be federal, whether it be municipal, whether it be state, I don't care how big or how small, court, the burden of proof is always on the prosecution, and the defense just has to create a reasonable doubt. That's simply just how court works. It doesn't matter what the level is. The prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, and the defense just has to implement doubt. So let me just go over your thing here again. All federal court is basically they have all the evidence, and the defense is the one that has to prove them false. So what you're saying, just to break it down, what you're saying is Diddy's guilty and the defense has to prove he's not guilty. That is not how court works. Okay. This is not, I was going to say some countries, but I don't even know if there's a country in the world that works that way. There's no way. Could you imagine you going to court and you automatically being guilty before the trial, and what you have to do is prove that you're not guilty? No, you are innocent until proven guilty. And the prosecution has to prove you're guilty, and the burden of proof is on them, and they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. People say that reasonable doubt so sparingly, I feel. A reasonable doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt. That means you can't even for a second be like, what about this? Because what about this? That possibility of something is doubt. And you would have to actually say not guilty if you had doubt. So thank you for your comment, but you are non-correct with that. All right. The next one is Jan. I think it's Jan B1K. A new subscriber to your channel, Tampa, Florida. Thank you so much for that, Jan. I tell you guys all the time at the end of the show, I understand some people who do not want to, get into the conversation. Not everybody is, as opinionated as I am. But I do also love to see like new people or new subscribers. So for those of you who do not want to comment, here's an example of just, hey, whatever, new subscriber, enjoying the show, not enjoying the show, whatever, and just let me know where you're from. So thank you, Jan, for that. And welcome to the Out Louders. All right. The next one is Annette. Annette says, Cardi might still be in love with her ex. You don't instantly fall out of love, but something is missing that is not there anymore. Acceptance is what it is. It is what it is. I thought that was a really good point, Annette. 1000%. Where, what did he say again? Yeah, she might not be in love with her ex anymore. But yeah, I think you might be right. For those of you who missed yesterday's show, I was showing Cardi with Stephon Diggs, and I was just like, I just feel like, you know what I mean? Like, she might still be in love with Offset, and maybe this is like a rebound kind of relationship. But I get what you're saying, Annette, where it's like, yes, you know, you broke up with somebody and things are not perfect, but you know enough to know that you don't want to be with that person, right? And you might still be in love with her ex, but you don't instantly fall out of love. I thought that was a really good line. And thank you for showing me that. 100% true. Yeah, I totally agree with you. All right. I was just actually processing going into something, but I'll spare you guys. Thank you very much for all your comments. I definitely don't have the time to read all the comments out loud, but just know that I read them actually in bed before I go to sleep. So thank you very much for all your comments. Keep commenting. We'll try to get to everybody one day. And again, once again, shout out to Aura and here is the link below, and also the QR code. Sign up. It's free. It's free to find out if any of your content or any of your information, your credit cards, your banking, your social security number has been breached. If you ever get spam calls, if you ever get emails, they wipe all that out for you and you're just safe and protected. And then if you want, you can continue after 14 days. It's free. Trust me, sign up. Here's the QR code. Take out your phone, open your camera, point, or just click on the link below. Shout out to Aura for being so nice and giving us 14 days. Out louders. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. Apple will reportedly release technology later this year that allows users to control devices using brain signals. Apple is set to introduce groundbreaking brain-computer interface technology later this year, enabling users to control devices like iPhones, iPads, and Vision Pro headsets using neurological signals. This initiative, developed in collaboration with neurological company Neurochron, aims to enhance accessibility for individuals with severe motor impairments, such as those resulting from ALS and spinal cord injuries. All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys about technology. Now, you hear at the end of this is for people that have injuries, etc. But you know it's also going to be used for other things, right? Other people are going to use these things. You hear about Elon Musk developing Neuralink, and we're going to get to a point where we're not on our phones. It will either be in our heads. We'll have screens. They're working on glasses. Meta has glasses where things, you know, computer will be in your eye, chips, etc. And it made me think about something. A lot of people are like, yo, this is too much. We don't need this. I'm happy with my phone. And I feel like more and more people are being more resistant to technology. But are we trapped in our own moment? If you go back to, I don't know, the 50s or even the 60s, you hear like, oh, you know, radio, like, why is everybody sitting in the house on radio? You need to be outside. Then you go to the inventions of television that was like, this is bad for families because families are not going to communicate. They're not going to talk with each other anymore because everyone's just going to huddle around a TV. We thought radio was bad. This is even worse. Every medium that comes out, people will say it's bad, or any technological advancement comes out, the older people say it's bad. One of my aunts now refuses to have a cell phone. Like, I will not have a cell phone. Why do I need that? I need to be in the moment. I need to be this, whatever. But then you have my sister's kids who are young kids and they don't know a life without their iPhone or their iPad or whatever. So my question is that are we just stuck in our moment and don't see that we are at one point going to be the older generation that doesn't get new stuff? Like, are we going to look at the people who are coming 20 or 30 years from now that have chips? They're probably not going to have credit cards, passports, papers. They're going to look at our iPhones and laugh at us. The same way how we looks at like dial-up, like rotary phones. Remember, you take it up, ding, 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 ding. That was at my grandmother's house. I still remember that, like, ding, ding, ding. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even some people now, it's like, a telephone line. What are you talking about? Everybody just has cell phones. So we are living in the past. Yesterday is always going to be the past. So I like to always be the type of person to know that technology, you cannot fight it. I remember a time where people were like, wow, let's internet. What is it? You know what I mean? Or cell phones or this or whatever. Or I've done my research to know that every form of technology has always met resistance. Should we just accept technology for what it is and know that we can't resist it? Or should we actually put a stop to it before it actually really gets bad? So have the people that were fighting against radio and TV and internet and cell phone and all of this stuff, like, is my aunt right? Or are my sister's kids right? They're the newer generation. Like, is there going to be a time where it's too much and just be such a detriment to society that it, I don't know, ruins us? I don't know. And that's why I bring it to social discussion. Like I said, I'm always on the side. I have always been on this. I'm always the first to get stuff all the time. Everybody in my family knows that. Cell phone, boom. Why do you have a cell phone? Oh, why don't you have a home line? Everything that I am on, eventually everybody ends up being on. So I just wonder. I wonder if it will be a time where it will be too much, controlling things with our brains, having our phones implemented in our bodies, having chips. Are we victims of our time, wanting to stay in our time and not accepting new technology, or should we just all give it up? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. What food instantly reminds you of your childhood? All right, first person said hot dog and beans. Next person said hamburger helper. That does remind me too of my childhood. Honey buns, hot fries, not French fries. Then chocolate muffins with cream inside, pork and beans. Bologna sandwiches and King Vitamin cereal. Somebody said eggs. I hate them. I just had eggs this morning. How was that a young person thing? Chicken hot pies, sugar bread sandwiches. Hilarious. Somebody said noodles, cornbread. I miss my grandmother. Toaster strudels. Yo, I eat toaster strudels now, even as a grown adult. I haven't got them in a while though. Ooh, and you put out the ice thing and stuff. Ooh, love toaster strudels. Peanut butter and jelly for real. It's funny the things that you have as a kid that you refuse to have as an adult. Like, why not make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich now? Like, why not have a toaster strudel? You know. Anyways, I have a big sweet tooth, so I indulge in these things. Somebody said fried chicken. Okay, whatever. Square pizza, Kool-Aid. Yeah, it's true. You don't really drink Kool-Aid as an adult. Pimento beans and cornbread, cream of wheat. Ooh, that's a good one, man. My dad used to make cream of wheat, and I would put mad sugar on it. Woo! One thing for me that reminds me of would being a kid, I used to have cornflakes with raisins, strawberry, and mad sugar. My mom would let me put sugar because if it wasn't like Frosted Flakes or Fruit Loops, I was able to put sugar on my cornflakes. So I put mad, oh my gosh. And then I would put so much extra, and then I would just drink the milk, and the milk would be super sweet and red from the strawberry. Woo! The milk was lit. Anyways, that's my answer. Another person said, okay, no. Spam sandwiches. In Jamaica, we call that bully beef. What else? Somebody said Haitian food, red beans and rice, water and ice. Another person said cream of wheat, Oreos. Yo, I just had Oreos the other day. My mom has snacks at her house for my sister's kids. The minute I go into my mom's house, I everything. I take everything. Well, Oreo cookies. And then the other day, my mom came and brought me Oreo cookies. She's like, you keep on taking the kids Oreo cookies. So she bought me like a little sliver of like 4 or 5 of them. It's funny. I didn't even go super crazy for Oreos as a kid. But anyways, thanks, Ma. What else? White Castle, Velveeta, and baked beans. Everybody's saying baked beans. King Vitamin. I was about to say something, but I won't. Anyways, that's it. All right. Let me know if there's anything I missed or anything you would agree with. What snack brings you right back to your childhood? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, depending on when you're watching this, these were Tuesday night games, all right? The Pacers have advanced. Cleveland Cavaliers are out. How do you have the best record in the East and then you lose to the Pacers 4-1? Now, I didn't really care who won this match, but like I was defending Cleveland a little bit when they lost the first game and the first two games. I was like, oh, they had a good record. They got out early in the first round. They just need time to warm up. Like, they never got their footing back. Like, super embarrassing. And we shout out to the Pacers. Pacers are a good team. And then shout out to OKC. My Thunders beat Denver. That game was on too late. I had to go to sleep because I have so much Diddy stuff that I'm doing. But OKC now leads 3-1. Go OKC. That's right. And now Wednesday night games are the Knicks versus Boston. Unfortunately, Tatum is out. I think I heard reports that it was an ACL and he already underwent surgery. Super sad. That series is a wrap. There's no coming back. So it's going to be Boston and Pacers. And then it's going to be Knicks and Pacers. And Knicks is going to beat the Pacers. So that means the Knicks are going to the finals, basically, in a long shot. And then Warriors against Timberwolves. And, the Timberwolves are going to beat Warriors because I don't think Steph Curry is going to come back. Like, I really don't think so. I don't think he was going to risk further injury. And yeah, they're probably just going to get eliminated. So what's looking like is that the Western Conference Finals will be Timberwolves versus OKC and the Knicks versus the Pacers. Now, I like OKC, but even though I'm mad at Anthony Edwards, I have to go for the Timberwolves. So what I'm thinking, my early predictions are it's going to be Timberwolves and the Knicks in the finals. If New York makes it into the finals, it's going to be crazy. Now, New York is already crazy with the Diddy trial. Knicks in the finals, it's going to be a madhouse, man. And that would be a really good finals, man, Timberwolves. But don't get it twisted because OKC is also a really, really good team. So Timberwolves has a lot to go through. But, sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but OKC has a little bit of a disadvantage because they have a harder series with Denver. Denver might actually win, and then it will be 3-3. They have to go to a game 7. So then Timberwolves will have an advantage. They'll be more rested and gone through an easier series. So advantage Timberwolves. All right, that's it. Let me know now what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, y'all, that brings the show to a wrap. Thank you so much for kicking with me. Let me know what you thought about the show. Let me know what you thought about Cassie's testimony, Tory Lanez, and DDG. Like, feels like everything right now these days is a court case. Everything, literally, like, I got to talk to my lawyers like almost every day. Hey, what do I think about this? Give me some feedback, whatever. Like, it's turning to be like the entertainment industry is literally just based on court cases. Like, it's crazy. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about everything in the comment section below. All right. Before I let you go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud podcast. For my YouTubers, if you're ever going on a flight or you're somewhere in a car, you don't have access to the internet, have no fear because the Trent Out Loud podcast is available on all podcast platforms. You can download the show and take us with you, all right? Just go to any podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily. Now, vice versa, for those of you who are used to listening to this show on podcast platforms, thank you so much for your downloads and the support. However, head on over to YouTube because it's just a more enjoyable place to watch the show, if you ask me and the rest of the Out Louders. The comment section is lit. There's a bunch of discussions going on. Some people disagreeing with me, some people agreeing with me. It's just a really nice community. So come on over here and at least comment over here and hang out with the Out Louders, all right? Head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Couple of housekeeping rules. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Gives you entrance into the Out Louder family. Hit the like button. We got to get the algorithming. And like I said earlier, most important thing is comment. Even if you don't want to weigh in on the topic, just let me know, hey, new subscriber here from wherever you are, what country, state. We're having a global podcast. We just want to show where everybody is from. Lastly, if you are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones, because it definitely helps in growing the channel. We appreciate y'all. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. That's where I repost a lot of your comments, okay? We also started a blog page on Instagram called Formally Out Loud. It's FORMALLY Out Loud. We'll put the extended version of videos. We'll put transcripts of Cassie's testimony or anything that's happening in the Diddy trial. The things that we can't do here on YouTube, we'll put it over there on Formally Out Loud on Instagram, all right? Thank you so much for kicking it with me. One more time, I'm going to put up the QR code. Trust me, sign up for free. It's free to find out if any of your information has been breached online. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. Here is a QR code. Take out your phone, open up your camera, then click on the link. Sign up for free and find out if you have been breached. Thank you once again to Aura for sponsoring the comment section. And I will see you guys tomorrow because it's Friday. Have a good day, man. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.